Hi guys, it's Michelle Patterson here with Angel Souls, and this is your weekly Angel Oracle card reading for the week beginning April 3rd, 2017. For this week, I'm going to be using the Archangel Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue, and of course pulling a color card, a crystal card from the Healing Crystal Oracle by Rochelle Sharman. So if you would like a personal reading with me, you can go to my website at angelsouls444.com, the services page. Please remember that you must, as soon as you purchase the reading, you have to fill out the submission form. People are still not doing that, and it is going to cause problems and delays because I can't secure your spot until you submit your submission form. That is what holds your place in line. Okay, so just be aware of that. And again, if you don't see it at the end, that's all well and good. You can just go into the thank you tab on my website, and the submission form is right there. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, I'll leave all that information down below. And of course, we still have courses up on Gumroad and the year overview. So I just got moved into my new home. I'm surrounded by boxes. So hopefully I'll get the studio all set up, and I will have like a lovely little place to film very, very, very soon. But let's see what's going on for us for the week of April 3rd. I'm going to give this a long shuffle this week. I just feel like we need to do that. Okay, I don't know what this is, but I'll share it with you. I'm seeing, it's actually a symbol, I think. I'm seeing sort of like light blue, grayish, like, I don't know if they're crystals. It almost looks like angelite or something like that, but it's like a smooth, like pebble, or like what you would see in a jewelry setting or something like that. And it looks like, yeah, and it looks like it's in a night sky. I know that sounds so silly, but I don't know. I guess I'll have to like sort of write that down and see what happens. And it was in a certain formation too. So it was like maybe like a constellation, but why it would come across as like a bluish gray. It's more blue than gray. Kind of smooth stone. I'm not sure, but maybe that means something to someone out there. Could very well be. All right, so we have Passion out first, and we have Haniel here, who's all about the moon phases. She's known as the Archangel of Joy. She helps with introspection, the divine feminine. All right. We have Metatron saying to prioritize, finding peace this week, and nurturing yourself. So sorry, I don't have my regular table here, so let me just gather these all up. Because there's a big, big thread going on here. Okay, so this feels like in order to get in touch with your passion, a lot of us are having, really, it's a feeling of stepping back. Let's put it that way. So you're going to be stepping back from what you think should be. Really, some of you, this might come through, I hate to say it, but maybe even like a little bit of a disappointment this week, in that maybe you were going after a job or you wanted something to happen and it's just not happening. Try not to, I'm serious when I say try not to get upset about it, because really take the standpoint of, okay, then show me what's next, right? Because that's the feeling here. It's like one thing that you thought was good for you, there's something better coming along, something that can really make you feel alive, okay? Now, whether that thing's actually going to come along this week or not, I'm not sure, but I think you'll have some inkling of what it'll be. So again, the card is Passion, Archangel Haniel. Trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. So it goes into the love life as well. So this could be someone coming along that you never thought that you would be interested in dating, or you never thought that you would ever, look twice at, because you think that there's nothing, you guys have nothing in common or what have you, and yet it just works, so keep a very open mind this week. This is also picking up old projects, perhaps for some of you, that you needed a break from. Now, because it does say renewed. So some of you are having to let go of something that you thought you wanted, for something better to come along, and yet some of you are revisiting an old love, an old passion. If you're sitting, I feel like someone's out there going, does that mean an ex or somebody that I never had a chance with coming back? It would be if an ex for everybody it's going to be different. I'm getting the feeling with the ex situation, it would be more like coming back just to close things up, okay? Once and for all, just to make peace. We'll see here. Yeah, I have it in my hand. Peace, to make peace with what happened. Okay, and yet for others of you, I'm feeling like someone that you missed a shot with, maybe the timing wasn't right, they could be coming back around, but again, this is a whole week of not jumping to conclusions. That's like a big message there. Don't jump to conclusions. So if somebody does come back into your world and you never got a chance to date them, and here they are again, doesn't mean you're going to date them again necessarily, but there's definitely something to take away from that interaction. So just, again, don't jump to conclusions. Okay. So then we have prioritize. All right. And it's Archangel Metatron. Focus on your highest priorities. I will help you get organized and motivated. And I'm telling you guys, this is focusing on your passion, making your passion your priority this week. All right. So again, if you've had an artistic project, let's say, you keep putting it on the back burner, make it a priority this week. All right. If people keep pulling on you and wanting you to do things for them, make yourself the priority. It's okay to go no contact. People will, sometimes try to make you feel guilty for not reaching out to them or whatever. But if they're not getting what they're doing to you, it's not your problem. Don't feel like you have to explain yourself to people this week or ever, right? You don't have to explain yourself, but really tap into the things that give you joy, right? We had Haniel here. So, the things that bring you joy, those are the things that absolutely deserve your attention first and foremost. All right, and taking very good care of yourselves. Now, for some of us out there, we're going to be having an old lesson come around, and it could have to do with healing. It could be to do with patterns, or for some of us, maybe it's eating, or if it's like, you had quit smoking and then you start smoking again, it's going to come back around where, it's just the feeling in you that says, okay, I'm ready to look at this again. I'm ready to take the necessary steps to heal and come through this. All right. So sometimes we have these major patterns in our lives that need to be broken, that we need, remember, we come in to experience that, and it might take your whole lifetime to heal from it. But that doesn't mean that you can't just, take it bit by bit, feel good about it, and then, move on. And then down the road, if it comes up again, okay. Some people, I think we as humans, we have this thing where we want to just, I was saying this to somebody in their personal reading, I'm like, our lives are not like the movies. All right. We don't have a neat and tidy little answer. We might have plot twists and things like that, but we don't have this ending that just wraps everything up and makes it whole and complete. We're already whole and complete before we even start any sort of circumstance or any sort of lesson. So that experience shouldn't have to define us. Okay. Because we talk about things like closure and, I can't move on until I have that closure. And yes, again, as humans and in our psyches, that can be very satisfying to have that ending, but truly it's not an ending. If you think about it, how many times have you, let's take love partnerships, and you think you have closure with it, but you still think about that person, or you still go over and over an event in your mind, so on and so forth. So just remember that your life is happening right now. You don't have to have all the answers in order to be whole and complete and to move on, if that makes sense. Okay. What else, guys? Can we move on? All right. All right. Now I had okay, I don't think that the nurture card came next, but it was laying right on top, and I just feel like I'm supposed to read that next. So here we go. Nurture. It's Archangel Gabriel. As you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. See how we're all just kind of going, okay, I'm going to take a step back right now. I am not going to keep plowing ahead. For some of you, you took a wrong turn. I actually heard that very clearly. Some of you took a wrong turn in some area of your life. Maybe you did get involved in something that you didn't want to be involved in, or for a lot of you, it's a job that you were like, well, I took it because I was so excited about it, and now I'm just not working for me. It's draining me or whatever. This is really just sort of retreating and taking a minute to, first of all, do a lot of clearing this week. Okay. A lot of letting go, releasing kind of meditations, And we keep saying this, but release your expectation to outcome and give the universe a little room to help you. Okay. And of course, remember, you have to invite the angels and archangels in before they can help you. Okay. They will not go against your free will. So if you need Gabriel's help, especially, you know, finding your inner child, nurturing that inner child, for some of you, you know, a lot of your attention has gone towards the children. And of course, this is in no way, shape, or form saying don't pay attention to the kids. Okay? Don't do that. Pay attention to the babies, pay attention to the children, but remember yourself in all of that too. Okay? Because you were that age once and you needed to be cared for, and you need to remember that part of you. Okay? That needs to be held. That needs to be, like the card says, nurtured. All right? So give yourself plenty of time for that as well. And I can't help but point out that that does go hand in hand with the prioritize card. Okay. Again, this isn't like, how do I say this? This isn't necessarily like prep for the next scene, right? Again, our lives are not movies. So this is an ongoing thing where you're learning to break, again, those old habits, those old patterns. It may not happen all in 1 week, but you're setting the next, getting rid of one lesson so that you can start another one. But try not to think of it as there's going to be an overlap of the two. Okay? So it's not like a clean break on one thing and then the next. It's one's phasing into another. Can I put it that way? So yeah, because it's important to hear that, because it feels like some of us might be expecting, okay, I'm done with that now. What's next? And then it will resurface again. And they're not wanting us to feel like failures or thinking like, oh, well, I can't start this new thing because this other thing isn't done. That would be different if you're in a marriage, okay? You know, like, we're not encouraging people to have affairs and things like that. But, you know, this could be like, for example, let's say you want to start your own business. Well, maybe you stay with your job for the moment while you get your next thing going. Or again, with a lot of the healing that a lot of us will discover this week that we still need to be working on, it may not all get healed in 1 week. You might be dealing with this for a while, okay? Just to be clear. I'm trying to be clear at least. This is kind of, it's a very deep message, and I mean, yes, we'll see it in the various areas of our lives, but mostly the stuff that's shifting and happening will be within you. All right, so just be mindful of that. But it could be, like this card says, very peaceful. And, you know, with Hanyo here, it can be very joyful as well. So yeah, it might be something that's unpleasant that you have to look at, to reevaluate, or you're letting go. But this might be silly, but I'm going to use this analogy. It's almost like, you know, when your muscles are all knotted up and then you go and get a massage. If you think about it, I don't know about you guys, but, you know, when you're on that table and someone's actually working out a muscle on you, it hurts, okay? But it's satisfying at the same time. And you know that it's getting that knot sort of released, right? So it's the same kind of thing, but energetically for you this week and going on. Okay, so the card is Peace, Archangel Shamuel. Here we go still with this theme. It's all about the self-love, right? Peace comes from remembering that only love is real. So reconnecting to that love within you, and then being able to find the love and something to love about every other human being as well, no matter what they're doing on the surface. But, you know, getting kind of the gunk out. And I feel like that's what the past couple of weeks were about, getting sort of the gunk out of you and saying what needs to be said, and, you know, speaking your truth and getting it out there. And then this week you're just kind of unplugging and going, okay, now that I've got that done, okay, I've spoken up, I've said what I had to say, let me come to peace with what is, with the ramifications of that, whatever the outcome was, if it ended up being a big discussion with somebody, you know, so on and so forth, and coming to peace with who I am, you know, what I'm doing, what area I want to go in. It's that kind of feeling, all right? But also coming to peace with others. Some of you might be experiencing, I'm already experiencing this too. I'm already having people coming back and saying, you know, yeah, I got upset about those videos a couple of weeks ago, but I'm sorry. And, you know, it was something I was going through, and, you know, coming back. So it's interesting. Or having someone come to you and say, listen, I just heard confession. Some of you might actually, now this isn't like a big thing. This might be like, hey mom, listen, I got to tell you, I took the car without your permission. But you weren't here, okay? And I had to get to work, so I took the car, and I thought you'd get mad, so I didn't tell you. You know, they come back and let you know. So there's a lot of, but, okay, so there might still be, sorry guys, it's all over the place. There might be some residual, like, again, speaking up and speaking your truth. There might still be a little bit of that overlapping, like we were saying before, but I feel like you'll be okay with it. You know, it's like, okay, don't do that again, but all right, thank you for letting me know, or thank you for your apology. It's all good. I have this like feeling of like really fast forgiveness. It's like the second someone acknowledges, you know, how they were feeling or what they did or what they said, a release happens. Okay? Again, this is an ongoing thing, but the beauty of this week is that you're not afraid to face the things that you previously were afraid to face. You're learning, you are releasing, and you're making room for something new and better to come in, or for a new, you know, an already existing situation to take a new spin and a new perspective. And maybe some of you are bonding closer with people, with friends, with family, with love, you know, love partner, or getting along better with coworkers, or you know, getting along better with yourself. And that would, you know, apply to the people who decide this isn't the job for me. Okay, and maybe I'll stay at this job for a while, but I'm going to start looking for a new one. There's that overlap. Okay, but I feel like it's a cool week, like a very nice, you know, potentially peaceful. Everybody's situation is different, right? So it just depends on who you are and what you got going on, and how what you're doing with it. Okay, all right. So this card just flipped right out of the deck. We might take a second card because that came awfully quickly. Kyanite blue, letting go. Now, kyanite is one of those stones, it's my understanding, that the second you hang on to it, it clears all your chakras. And this is one of my favorite stones too. And you don't need a big piece of it. You can just get a little sliver of it. Because it's not, I don't know if I should call it brittle, but it has, you can get little shards of it. Okay, and that's all you need to just hang on to it and meditate with it. And the card is letting go, which is what we were all talking about. And it's like, you know, I don't know, we were all kind of in an uproar for a while, and now it's like, okay, are you cool? Yeah, I'm cool. Are you cool? Yeah, I'm cool. And then there's clarity that comes with that. And you start going, okay, I have to finally admit to myself, this isn't working, you know, and I'm going to let it go. Or this thing that I tried to get started, I've put a lot of effort into it, it's just not happening, I gotta let it go, right? And as soon as you do that, okay, I did that with my housing situation. The second I let go of what it was supposed to look like, I literally manifested a new home within 3 days. I know, I tortured myself for how many years? And, you know, do not as I do. I mean, I dragged that along something fierce. I mean, it was going on and on and on, and it didn't have to, right? Because that's another part of this message, is that, and let the energy of this just kind of hit you while we're even talking here. You know, we get so hung up on doing things, quote unquote, correctly. Even in our spirituality, I want to do it right. How do I talk to the angels? How do I meditate? How do I do it? I want to do it correctly. And we end up putting a lot of pressure on ourselves. And when we just let that go and have, especially in meditation, not having any expectation about how this is going to go. And even if you do a meditation and you perceive it as nothing happened, something did happen, you know, whether you're aware of it or not. You know, it's that kind of thing, and letting the subtleties of your life kind of bubble up and be seen at this time. But you can't get there unless you let go and, you know, let some calmness and some peace come over you. Okay? So let me get one more card, and then we'll wrap it up here. Okay, it's going to be a very energetically jumpy week. I don't know if you can see the cards, but they're just kind of, they're not wanting to stay in my hands. So, I can read that too. All right, I feel like that one wants to come out. Tiger's Eye, courage. Whew. The courage to, oh my gosh, this is, do you see how this all works together? The courage to let go. It's one of the hardest things that we can do. And Tiger's Eye is also very protective as well. So you're okay to move on. Have the courage to move on. Have the courage to let go. Have the courage to let old definitions of you fall away. Old identities, labels that have been put upon you. It's time to let all that go, like the Kyanite Blue card says, right? Time to let all that go. But you can feel like something's missing when you're letting go, or you feel like, you know, if it's an old love partner that you're trying to let go of, that can hurt. You know, it can feel like you're really, like a piece of you is missing. And that's where that nurturance and, you know, making yourself a priority and, you know, coming to peace, you know, that's where all that comes in. All right. Have the courage to do so. And just like the card, the very first card that came up said, you'll have this renewed passion. Now that's said in your career and love life, but I think it goes beyond that. A new love of life. Okay, realizing that the things that we're trying to have control of, it's about releasing the control, right? The things that we're trying to control, we're trying to do everything correctly, it's actually working against us. Okay, and we'll be much happier when we kind of step back from it and say, okay, God, show me what's next, and let it come on in. All right, so there it is, guys. Have a beautiful week, and of course, I am sending you so much love. Take care.